Welcome to Sababoosh, the podcast of Milk and Honey. I'm your host, Jake Gillis. Join me in learning about Israeli culture from its movers and shakers. Connect with the Israel you love, or soon will. Welcome back to Sababoosh, the podcast of Milk and Honey. Today's guest has taken the Jewish music scene and social media feeds around the world by storm. DJ Raphi is more than just a DJ. He's an entertainer, educator, and cultural innovator. With his high-energy mixes, choreographed dances, and viral videos, he's managed to take Jewish tradition and give it a beat that resonates with a global audience. What makes DJ Raphi so unique is the way he bridges worlds. On one hand, his work is deeply rooted in Jewish identity and Israeli culture. On the other, it's playful, international, and perfectly tuned to the way people consume music and media today. It's no wonder that his videos have racked up millions of views, inspiring kids, families, and communities from Jerusalem to Johannesburg, from New York to Sydney. In this episode, we'll talk about how Raphi went from experimenting with beats to becoming one of the most recognizable Jewish performers online. We'll explore what drives his creativity, how he sees the role of music in connecting people, and what it means to bring joy and energy to a world that often feels heavy. So whether you've danced to one of his Purim remixes, watched a holiday music video with your kids, or just discovering him now, you're in for a treat. DJ Raphi, thank you so much for coming on Sababoosh.
Thank you for having me.
It's really a pleasure. There are a lot of things that I'm excited to talk with you about, but I think to start off with, there's a common practice in Israel of pivoting, making a plan, it doesn't go according to plan, and trying something else. I was hoping you could talk a bit about what happened during Corona, the lead up in your business and your work into Corona, and what developed within that time.
So, right before we came here, I told you that I have a story for you.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the story. I was running a company called Premium Entertainment, where we offered DJs and dancers and entertainment for premium events here in Israel. So for tourists, Anglos, anyone that needed a good, high-quality DJ that could also interact with the crowd. And that was managed in JLM Foundation building, upstairs. We're now sitting in the basement, but back then, 5-6 years ago, there was a group called Made in JLM, and they offered us to sit in their area, their workspace, where we were able to manage everything, because we were getting phone calls all day to book different DJs, to tour go to whatever, fly around the world and do different bar mitzvahs. So we had to have a team that could work together and manage everything. So we sat here and it was unbelievable. We had so much fun. And then COVID came and they told us that this space is not going to be relevant for us anymore and that we have to move out. So I had to put my business on hold. All my workers left, as in onto like the paid vacation from the country. And I was left alone. And even my accountant was like, you have to think again what we're going to do. We have to, anything you've been renting, all the warehouses, equipment, all that stuff, maybe consider selling because we don't know how long this is going to go for. And I remember that my wife, Ilana, she loves what I do and she pushes me to go after my passion and dreams. And she was like, you can't just stop doing that. You need to continue your music and your performance and your DJing, but do it online. So I started doing some Zooms with different schools and camps, and it started catching. And my mom, she passed away a few years ago, but she was also a big believer. And she's like, why don't you film yourself doing one of these dances you sometimes do at events? And then basically my whole family, because that's all we had, there were no friends to talk to. Everyone was very far. People were getting sick. And my family was like, why don't you just film yourself doing a dance and upload it onto YouTube? And YouTube was like really upcoming. And I'm like, you know what? That was always my dream, to be a YouTuber. But the chances are so low. And I decided I'll do a video. And that's the story that started here in the Jerusalem Foundation.
It's really special that it's come full circle to this moment and also put you in that mindset when you were last here.
Yeah.
So and how has it developed since it took off afterwards? It's been a smash success. You've been very successful. Many people, hundreds of thousands, now over 1 million subscribers. What was the progress? How did it come to this point?
I think when looking back 5 years ago, I remember showing the first video I ever uploaded onto YouTube as an official dance video was the cha-cha slide. And I showed it to a couple of friends, and it was mixed feelings from different people. Different people said like different things, and they're like, "Oh, it's weird, cool. What's the point? What are you expecting people to do? Just watch you dance?" And in my head, sometimes you have these little epiphanies, and I'm like, "This is going to reach 1 million views. There's no way it cannot. It hasn't been done. It's going to be viral." And I've done some viral videos before, dancing the street, giving out like sufganiyot to people, and then challenging them, and those went viral, but more on Facebook, not on YouTube. And then I uploaded this cha-cha slide onto YouTube, and it didn't go viral. And I'm like, I cannot believe that didn't work. And then I'm like, okay, I'll just do another one. So I did another one, and we did 4. It was a series of 4 videos, which we uploaded once a month. By the 4th month, that first video, the cha-cha slide, suddenly hit 10,000 views. So I'm like, wait, so how could this be? Maybe YouTube is reading that, oh, I'm creating content on a regular monthly basis, and the algorithm is pushing me forward, and people are liking it, sharing it, and it gets dancing to it. Started getting videos of people in their homes dancing to this cha-cha slide. And I was noticing that it wasn't in Israel. So I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. We're reaching to people out of the country. And when I noticed that we've managed to find a solution for people being stuck at home during COVID, we understood that we have some sort of power to help people and make them happy. So we got to make more videos. But there wasn't a budget because I wasn't making money off YouTube. So any savings we had from the previous business, I went just all in. And I'm like, let's do it. So created videos. And then to jump fast, 1 million subscribers later, a lot of the people that I used to work with 5 years ago are still working with me now. So it's about building a really powerful team that have your back and believe in a bigger picture that maybe at that point no one can really see happening, but there's some sort of, this is going to happen, this is going to work, we need to do this together. And they've always had my back. And I think today it's my full-time job. And you mentioned entrepreneur, and there's a lot around that which we'll discuss, but I think that kind of sums it up, is that I started here very small, doing it by myself, growing into a team that have my back, and then we were able to make this big.
To touch on the being in Israel aspect of it, do you think such a thing could have happened in South Africa or in America? Like all of these pieces, family support, an entrepreneurial spirit, do you feel an Israeli component to it?
100% yes. When we came to Israel, we came from a place where we had everything. So we grew up in a culture where everything is served to you, everything is made for you, your bed is made for you. You don't even have to get dressed sometimes. They dress you up. It's just a different culture, different reality. And then you come to a country where you're in Merkaz Klita, which welcomes you into Israel and shows you the real face, that this is hard and this will be a challenging stay. And if you're here to live, you're going to make it happen and you're going to work hard. It's like a relationship. It's not, you can't just get into a relationship and hope everything will just go smoothly. You need to really work hard on it to make it happen. And my parents gave up on everything for that to happen, for us to live in this country. And we have a lot of family that still lives in South Africa. And the situation there is not easy, especially for Jews. They have a great community. It's beautiful. I go there almost every year to visit my grandmother and my uncles and aunts. But I could tell that us struggling here, even as a kid, financially, living with no car, always renting, going from apartment to apartment, getting kicked out of different schools. Well, not kicked out, more me deciding that this school's not good for me, I need to move because I was having a hard time. And just hustling my way throughout my teenage years, I think gave me a lot of tools to see, okay, so now we have to close our business. COVID happened. What can we do? We have the war going on. Same thing. again, our business re-shut down. And we had to hustle our way out of that as well. So it's challenges that keep on coming our way. And I feel that Israel has taught me to deflect or perhaps deal with those challenges without being shut down by them, but more, okay, let's find our way around it.
And you mentioned some of the challenges we have living in Israel, war, and a lot of different things that come our way. I think if there were a lot of parents of young kids in this room right now, they would be just throwing gratitude at you, because in all of those moments where there are struggles and people are even not in a shelter in their safe room, you've given them dance. For sure, kids and adults who like dancing and gravitate towards it, they enjoy it. But to really bring dance to people, bring joy. You've done a lot of DJ work. You certainly understand the energy that's required, and you've really just brought joy. So I thought I wanted to mention, just also from my own experience of dancing with my nieces and nephew and watching, and they're just overjoyed. So you've really brought that. What does that mean to you, to have brought this joy, this energy?
I was sitting with a couple of people we had at this meeting, and then I mentioned they didn't know who I was. I don't always go out there saying, "Hey, I'm DJ Raphi." Sometimes I'm just Raphi, and we're having this meeting and we're discussing different things, and then one of them was like, "You look like that guy with the black hat." And I'm like, "Oh, do you mean the guy on YouTube?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." They're like, "Wait, you're the guy that takes anxiety down?" And I'm like, what do you mean? And she goes, "We're from Sderot, and I teach at a school. So whenever there's a siren, you're the guy that we put on for the whole school and all the kids to calm down the anxiety from the siren." And I was like so touched by that. I'm like, that's crazy. I do want to say that I get a lot of messages from other countries, Muslim countries, where they tell me the same thing, where they have their own issues and problems in their countries, and they use me to help relax the kids, give them some brain breaks, give them some happiness, time to just calm down or have fun. It's amazing that it's in Israel, and I think it's just very special that it's around the world, and there's an international language when it comes to this dancing thing that I'm doing, and I find that very special, that I'm able to reach out to all these kids around the world and give them something positive. Yeah.
When dancing to your videos, I remember thinking, wow, DJ Raphi's a great dancer. You'd think that in an instructional video, you don't really get to see how skilled the dancer is breaking it down, but you're a great dancer, and I'm wondering, can you still dance for fun? Like, now that it's been your livelihood, it's been what you do for work, do you still, for fun, like to dance?
100%. Yes. You would think, no, this is my job now. Nope. I dance with my kids all the time, and we have a lot of fun. And when in Judaism, you have so many different events coming up. We just had, one of my nephews had a bar mitzvah. I was dancing nonstop. I had so much fun. And there was nothing related to what I was doing. I was just dancing with everyone, and I do enjoy it. I I don't consider myself such a good dancer. Does that make sense? I see myself more as a performer. So I know how to read the crowd, connect with them very well, and make them feel comfortable around me. So if I'm doing a certain dance, you should totally follow me, and we'll have fun together, and look how easy this is, and it's not complicated. So it's more of me being able to have people feel themselves next to me. I think that's what the YouTube is all about, where you're able to show who you are and have people connect with you in a level where they say, "Oh, this guy's not above me, or he's like this famous guy. He's just a Joe Schmo dancing, and I think I'll join him. He's making me feel that I could." And it's for all ages. And that's why sometimes we receive videos of babies that are 1 or 2 years old and dancing with their grandmas that are 80. And I have plenty of those videos, and they're always fun to watch. So, yeah.
I'm also wondering about balancing everything. You run your company, you are dancing in the videos. Is that ever too much? Sometimes you mentioned you have a great team, so I imagine there's a good amount of delegation happening, but How do you balance those different roles? You might not think that like the head of the business is the one dancing, but you are.
Team. That is such a big part of the way that we work and how we make everything happen. We have someone that runs the DJ business. So she's, I would say, the CEO of the DJ business, where we basically hire out DJs and dancers, sound, lighting, entertainment, anything you need for a bar/bat mitzvah. That's our prime service that we offer. We used to do weddings. We don't do that anymore. And I'm not involved in that business anymore. Like, I do run it from the top and see that everything's okay. And I talk to the DJs and I train everyone that needs to be trained. But I myself don't do bar mitzvahs anymore. I used to do that for 10 years. I'll do like once in a year or once every 6 months, like a special request. I'll consider it. But mostly we're focusing on YouTube. So we have someone managing that. And then when it comes to running the videos, so it's a good question. Like, how are you also able to dance in these videos, but also run the business? And the way that we do it is that we brought everyone to one place. So we have a studio with office space. And we have the director sit there. We have the videographer sit there. We have 2 animators that sit with us. And then we have a marketing guy. Shout out to Yoni. He's unbelievable. He's been with me for almost 10 years. And we kind of run this together and make sure that everyone knows their job. So every day people are doing things so that I can focus on the creative side and build up my stamina, which means literally my job is to go to gym. Like, I need to go to gym 3 times a week. I need to eat healthily as much as I possibly can, even though, again, I enjoy my 4 o'clock tea with a cupcake or a muffin. I do. I'm guilty. But it's part of my job to eat healthy, go to gym, make sure that I'm in a good mood, which means go on walks, go on a run, meet up with friends, so that when I come to the studio to dance, I'm in a real life situation where I'm actually enjoying and actually happy, and not like, oh, I didn't do another video today. I can't stand this. It's so hard. And it really is hard. Sometimes filming days could be somewhere between 6 to 10 hours, standing on my feet, jumping, dancing, singing. It's excruciating at times, but I think that's what it takes to really look at yourself as an athlete, where you need to take care of your body and you need to make sure that you have the right team around you that are supporting you and working really hard so that you can focus on what is only you, what you can focus on the things that you need to focus on, and not, oh, we need to pay this vendor. So, yeah.
So that brings up there's this theme of persistence. You mentioned your wife encouraged you to, during Corona, to put it online, to go into YouTube. It sounds like there were moments that it wasn't like millions of views from the beginning. How did you stick with it? How did you decide not to, at those, when things weren't happening as quickly or you weren't getting the views? What really kept you going? You mentioned family support, and it sounds like something that you really love and that you're passionate about, but there seems like there were also moments of, maybe I might try something else. So how did you stick with it? How did you keep going?
I think it's important to say that there's still moments like that where we work so hard on a video and we put a lot of effort and money into a very high production, and the views are not what we expected. And we still struggle with that. For me, getting 1 million views on a video today is a failure. It sounds funny, but we're striving for much more. So at the beginning, where some of the videos were not even reaching 10,000 views, I'd feel like, oh, I cannot believe it's not working. This is a fail. And then I would receive like a video on Instagram of a kid in a random place dancing and smiling. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's why we're doing this. Okay. So we're making one kid happy. Is that good enough for me? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing on this earth? And it seems so. So I'm not doing something wrong. I can continue with pushing that forward. So we just kept on going. What's interesting is that for the first 2 years, I did not make even 1 cent on YouTube. So you have to reach 1,000 subscribers. But we were using other people's music, such as Macarena and Cha-Cha Slide. because that's what I knew, and that's how we wanted to get people to dance to music that they knew. And then we noticed, okay, we're at 100,000 subscribers. We have a big crowd. Why don't we try creating our own music? And then when we started doing that, it didn't really matter how many views we were getting and if there was a fail or not a success, because we were having so much fun. I was talking about shake off all those like yucky bad feelings and feel better about yourself and have fun and be happy, which again, for kids, it means so much. Instead of talking about drugs or bad influences, which I find that sometimes pop culture does to kids. And I was like, no, let's like focus on like building motivation and going after your dreams and being a nice person and dealing with bullies. So it's all the stuff that I've dealt with as a kid. I was like, let's give this to kids now. So then when it was like, oh, this video didn't make it, it didn't matter much. And we were just like, okay, so we just let out a video. We're already thinking about our third song. Like, what's the third song that we're working on? So we weren't even focusing on the views. And then hopefully, which happened, with time, those videos eventually started making money, which would funnel into the new videos that we were making, if that makes sense.
It does. And then at a certain point, after that profit going into ongoing projects, is there a point where you can make money and the team can make money, or it's even for a very long time it's just going into making the next video or making a different aspect of content?
So this is probably also a tip for any upcoming YouTuber that wants to do YouTube, depending on where you're on in life. But you really it's really important to have a side job that can provide you some sort of stability while operating a YouTube channel, because you won't make money off YouTube for the first 2 to 3 years. When you do start making money off YouTube, that money is going to cover all those costs that you already spent. So with me, I have that DJ business that helped me stay above water while I was running the YouTube channel. And the way that we work today is that all the cash flow that comes through the YouTube channel goes directly to the team and to creating more videos, because the team run the YouTube channel with me. So they get paid per project, per hour, whatever it is. And then for my living costs, I have the DJ business. So we try not to touch that YouTube money. We keep it in the team and in creating more videos. And it's yesterday we were just discussing with my business manager that runs the entire team. I provide him services and he gives me his entire team that we can work with, and the office space and the studio. So he said to me basically, Raphi, just like this month, the videos were really expensive because we started adding animation, like characters, into the actual videos where they talk with me and they interact with me. And I was like looking at this number, I'm like, oh my God, this is so much money. I would never imagine ever spending this amount on a video. But we had to. And thankfully we have money coming in from YouTube. It's just, okay, so we'll earn a little bit less this month, but we're creating better videos. So it's always like, how do we create better videos all the time? Because eventually you want people to say, what we're looking for people to say is that what we're doing is probably the highest quality of animation and video production for a kids entertainer on YouTube. That's what we're striving to do. And the way to do that is to not focus on income, but is to focus on actually spending smartly with a talented team.
It makes a huge difference, the highest of quality that you have right now, like when you're dancing with the graphics, and it's beautiful, and it doesn't seem like there is anything else. So if you're even still striving to always improve it, it's pretty amazing to see. And so many people watch the videos, and so many people are impacted by, you mentioned the positive messages of the original music and just dancing, being happy, being joyful. Another aspect of your work is maybe more so in the past, but today as well, traveling around the world, going to summer camps, schools. How is that work different for you, or Jewishly connected? I imagine you're doing a lot of Jewish songs or songs in Hebrew, and that's possibly a bit different from the cha-cha slide or some of the English songs or the most popular songs internationally. So what do you get from those trips? What are you taking away when you go to a summer camp in Canada or a school in Argentina?
First of all, I love traveling and I love performing live. It's always been a dream of mine, and it's a huge passion to get on stage and see the crowd and do a movement or say something on the microphone and have them interact. It's different from a singer. Sometimes like a singer could just sing and the crowd could sing with them. But most times, like watching the singer sing and he's done and you clap. And with me, I think what I enjoy about it so much, which also takes a little bit of that like nervous feeling. I don't have stage fright, but I'm like, I hope this works and I hope that the crowd gets it and I hope that they're able to interact with me. But as soon as you do that like one like clap, you clap your hands and the crowd goes after you, boom, and you make a noise and they make a noise. That's it. It's broken. Like you've broken the ice with 3,000 people. And that's what I love so much about performing live. I've been performing for Jewish camps and Jewish schools for probably 4 to 5 years, like a year after COVID, probably that started like this phenomena of me traveling, it really has been amazing and special connecting with Jews around the world. What started to happen in the past year and a half is that we realized that there's a big focus on international touring. There's so many people out there that are waiting for live shows from DJ Raphi, and we were like, wait, if there's so many people out there in the world, shouldn't we go on tour and do shows? And there was a lot going on. It was 7th of October. We're like, maybe we shouldn't do this. And we actually reached out to some companies that do international touring, and we just got a no, which from reasons that you could probably understand why. And eventually we got our manager that came in, and he got us a very good deal. And we are now hopefully doing our first tour internationally in March. We're going to the US and we're doing 9 states, 12 shows. We're going to be traveling for 15 days, and it's actually catered for everyone. So it's not a Jewish show per se. So 2 years ago, I was in Moshava, Io, which is like for me a home base. That's where I started doing my big shows. And I had so much fun doing all this Jewish dance stuff that I used to do. And the kids all knew the words and they all knew the dances by heart. And then I started doing some of my English stuff at those shows. And the kids were like, whoa, what's this? This is new. This is crazy and awesome. You're taking kids' music and turning it into EDM electronic raves, which is what we love doing. And we saw that the energy works and that kids love it. And we want to make it. We want to go bigger, and that's why we decided to let it open to everyone. Have everyone enjoy this live show. So we're hoping to go on tour in March and make it international.
That's amazing. I hope it's really successful, and it's holy work, bringing dance and bringing joy to so many people. With touring, you have a lot of people who are going to love dance already, and they're in a way low-hanging fruit in that they will participate. In the past, have you had experiences where maybe there's a section of the people that just aren't into it and aren't dancing, and then what's that like for you to try to engage with them or get them dancing?
So the first, I think it was a bat mitzvah that I did about probably 11 years ago. I played a song, and there was a dance to this song and that everyone knew. So I put it on, and the crowd wasn't dancing. We're just like standing there looking around, and I'm like, why aren't they doing the dance? So I went down, because it was like I was on this like top DJ deck, and I went down, started dancing, and people, oh, the DJ's dancing, let's just follow him. And that became my thing. And at every event that I would do, there would always be a crowd that wouldn't dance. And I think the lesson for me was, no matter what happens, if people follow you or don't follow you, be with your back to them and dance. If people say don't dance like nobody's watching, it's literally that. So I would dance my life off. So that means like full energy, smiling, going crazy, but making it very easy to follow. People would follow, and sometimes I wouldn't even know if people were following or not. And I would always have a team member with me, if it was a second DJ or an assistant, and they would film me. And I would look at their face while they're filming me. Is anyone dancing? Is anyone following me? But I would try not to, just to focus. I'd be like, just continue. You have 2 people behind you. Don't worry. Just keep it going. For me, that's not like a failure or anything like that. It's just, at the end of the day, I'm here to help and make people happy and have them dance and feel comfortable about it. And most people, I would say, don't feel comfortable just dancing at a random event. And that's my job, is to help make that happen. And hopefully all these over probably 1,500 events that I've done, I think I was able to reach out to enough people to make it, okay, it worked. But definitely there were times where people did not dance, but I kept on dancing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because there can be that fear that you're just the only guy outside dancing.
Correct.
There have been many successes over the years, and your videos have achieved great success. Have there been any ideas that didn't really fly, or that were a swing and a miss in terms of a direction to go, or even a song that didn't work?
Yeah, there was a recent song that we did called Be You Be Awesome, which is basically a lesson to everyone, but to kids, that no matter like what people think about you or say about you, or even about how you're feeling at this current moment, being yourself is enough. And that's why we say be you, be awesome, because you are awesome. And that's something that I needed to hear as a kid. And that video came out. We used our editing team, and we put a lot of effort into the melody and into the video production and into the dance. And we were sure that it was going to reach so many views, and it didn't. It reached, I think we're at maybe just under 1 million, or at 1 million, which again, for most people, that's viral. But for us, we had a feeling that would be a big hit, and it wasn't. It definitely did help kids, and that's important to say, because people have spoken to me about it. But we were refining our message, that maybe that wasn't precise enough. Maybe that wasn't a message that kids need to hear, or that is not a message that goes directly to them. Maybe they need something a bit more specific or a bit more broad. So every song that we make, every track, every video, we look back, say, okay, this didn't work. Why didn't it work? Maybe the graphics were too complicated. Maybe the melody was a bit too electronic. Maybe the timing of the week, even when we released that video, maybe the marketing around it wasn't good enough. So most times, every time we release a video, we go back to the thinking table and we say, okay, why did this work and why did this not work? And it's something that we constantly have. And I think that's how you become successful, or you become a better artist, or become a better creator, is that you keep on looking at these videos and thinking, why did this work and why did this not work? Something that we do a lot is A/B testing, which people think, if I were to ask you, Jake, what do you think is the number one most important thing when it comes to YouTube for a viewer or as a creator? Like when you think of your YouTube video, putting out a YouTube video, what is the most important thing that you need to think about?
Quality, video quality, how it looks.
So you would think so, and that's what I thought for many years. It's a lot to do with the thumbnail and with the title. And today, when we create videos, the first thing we do is think about the title and think about the thumbnail. And then we go into production. And we do A/B testing. A/B testing. So we create 3 different thumbnails for the same video and we upload it onto YouTube and we just test and we see which thumbnail works better, which title works better. We have videos that we released 2 years ago that we're still A/B testing. And there's significant change when you change a title from 10 words to 3 words and put in a certain that Kids for Songs or Brain Breaks for Kids or whatever it is. It really does make a difference.
It's a psychological choice. I know sometimes now with political things, it'll say this person destroys like liberal college student, and that doesn't happen, or they're misleading. So as much as you can be spot on and actually detail what you are doing, it means a lot, I think, with all of the names that aren't as true out there. To pivot a little, you've mentioned family. You mentioned your wife. You have children. And now most videos are geared towards children. I'm wondering what your experience has been in basically family life in Israel. And with videos, I'm sure you're learning more about what's interesting to kids. I'm sure your kids are also guides for that. But how does living in Israel, maybe what's special about family life in Israel? I know you were young when you made Aliyah, so it's not necessarily a direct comparison to South Africa or when you've traveled in other places, but what do you see as special about family in Israel?
I feel that my kids are growing up living in a society where they don't have to be afraid of who they are. They could be proud Jews, which is something that wherever you are in the world, you have to be really careful about, especially nowadays. I think they see my brothers are very special people, and they see what they do in their lives, and they look up to them, and they see what's important. And I think Israel provides a set of values that you cannot find in any other country. They learn, like my kids go to the most amazing school, and we feel that even the educational system that we've sent them into and put them into provides them with values that, again, I could not find anywhere else. And I feel that my parents raising me here was really tough. It was just a very difficult period in our lives of making it in Israel. And I've been hoping and working really hard to have my kids and my family have an easy life. So that's, I think, my experience just living in here in Israel.
Yeah, it's so true about being able to be who you are here, and people can wear a kippah if they choose to, and it's not like that around the world. When you are going on tour, before when you tried to go on tour and they said no, was connected to being from Israel, living in Israel, but then they said yes, and is it being marketed as you're coming from Israel? Is that being cloaked at all?
So not to be too political, but we created a bio that we had to send to this company. And they were like, you know what? Why don't you just, for your safety, take that part out, that you're Israeli. It's on my Wikipedia page that I'm Israeli, and we've got a lot of hate from anti-Semitism and people just writing down to boycott my name. So I am going to be traveling as DJ Raphi, and not as the Israeli YouTuber DJ Raphi. That is correct, which is sad. But I want to be a light to this world. And if that's what it takes for me to just not throw out at people's face, I'm this Israeli guy, then that's okay. I'll do it. I've been showing off that I'm Israeli and Jewish for years. And I think now it's time to let my Jewish identity be who I am, and part of me, but not in a place where I can actually create harm or prevent from me doing things, or prevent from kids around the world enjoying what I have to offer. We had to put a big budget on security for the travel. which is a crazy thing. Even the people that I'm working with, they're like, oh, wow, this is a real thing. So, yeah, we're taking all that into account and we're doing our best. And we're hoping to shed light on the world and show eventually maybe what Israel is all about, actually, which is about spreading light, nothing other.
I couldn't really think of a better point to end off on, although we're not going to end. We're going to move into the Te'imot segment.
Yeah.
But that beautiful point about spreading light, and we are meant to be a light unto the nations. So that was very beautiful. Okay, so for the Te'imot segment, a few things, your favorite. It's not a lightning round. You don't have to fire it away. You can explain. It started as one, but it didn't really work.
Okay.
So you could take your time. Okay, your favorite Israeli food.
You would say, oh, that's an Israeli food, but I don't know if it's Israeli. It's probably like Middle Eastern. But I'd probably say a good plate of hummus and mushrooms.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Hummus Ben Sira?
Yes, and I was literally thinking of that one.
Right, if you're thinking of like hummus with mushrooms or with ground meat.
There's a really good hummus in Ra'anana called Tanami, which I grew up on, which is by far the best hummus I've ever eaten, ever.
Gonna have to try that out.
Try it out, yeah.
Favorite Israeli singer or band?
I would say probably Yishai Ribo. I know that he's everyone's favorite or whatever. I want to say that on the same level. Now, both of those guys are friends of mine, which is a little bit unfair because before they became like huge, we would be in touch and then they got bigger and bigger. But eventually they both asked me to do their kids' bar mitzvahs. And so those are the ones that I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So recently I did Yishai Rivo's son's bar mitzvah, which is a lot of fun. They are such incredible people and amazing artists. And so those are the people that I look up to in the Jewish world. Like they're able to make it work in the Jewish world. And I'm not saying that I did not make it in the Jewish world, but I have the ability to do different stuff. But I keep on looking at them like, wow, they actually made it huge in the Jewish world. It's such an inspiration.
It's also very special what Yishai Ribo has been able to do in terms of if you go to a concert, people without head coverings, with head coverings, with dreadlocks, also, even though a lot of lyrics are Torah themes or Jewish ideas. So, wow. Is there, maybe it's a song of theirs, but is there a song that you particularly like to dance to? Not that it was necessarily made into a YouTube video, but that you just enjoy.
I think it was Bot is probably one of my favorite songs. My kids love it so much. But also, you always think in life, like, why is this happening now? Yeah, I don't talk about it often, but I've been through a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of tragedy because it sounds so bad, but we've had tragedy in our life. My mom was killed in a car accident 3 years ago. And we've had, from the war, casualties in the family, and just, it's been a few rough years. And you keep on thinking to yourself, like, why did this happen? What's the reason? What's the siba? And that song is just, I find it to be like, the reason is because we have God, that He's the reasons of reasons. And it helps you. You don't have to give everything an answer, and there must be a reason for it, and He may have the answer, but you don't need to know the answer. And then to enjoy that song and dance to it gives it a whole different level to that song. So that's my favorite, I would say.
It's very special. A favorite vacation spot in Israel?
Can we also do a vacation spot out of Israel after that?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I would say Chadnes, up north. We were just there with the family, and it was so much fun. It's so beautiful. I love the north of the country. Yeah.
Where is it?
Chadnes, it's in the Golan. So it's really close to the Kinneret. And we took an Airbnb there with a pool. And then stay all day in the pool, do barbecues, and then travel around the area and go swim and go to lakes. It's the best.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. And there's a really good burger place like 20 minutes from Hadnes in I think it's called, like, I can't think about it right now, but it's in Kfar Nofesh Ramot. And there's a great like burger place, which we go every year.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And outside of Israel?
South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah, I'm from there, and I love the nature there and the animals. There's a place called Kruger Park, which is a famous safari the size of Israel. And Cape Town, Sun City, it's just, me talking to you now, how could it be that I'm from South Africa? I sound like from where? I don't know. And from
America,
the States.
Yeah.
So it just really depends on who I talk to. I'm an accent chameleon, not from choice. So if I really focus like really good, I can imagine that I'm talking to my dad and this is my actual South African accent. If that blows your mind. So South Africa is like in my blood. So I love going there. Yeah.
I had a camp counselor, also born and raised in Israel, Israeli accent, but parents South African. So when he spoke to a family member, exactly like you just said it. It was like, where did that come from? Was that
just wait? If I go to London, you won't believe what happens. I turn into Dumbledore. It's the craziest thing.
Raphi, thank you so much for coming on Sababoosh.
Thank you for having me, Jake. This was absolutely fun and awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Sababoosh for this fun conversation with DJ Raphi about connecting through dance. Next time on Sababoosh, join us for our season finale before the Chagim, or the high holidays, with Professor Chaim Noy for a conversation on post-army travel. It's seen almost as a rite of passage into civilian life that Israelis will travel abroad after the army and before university or post-army plans. Wishing you and yours a Shana Tova U'Metuka, a happy and sweet new year. May the coming year bring peace, joy, good news, and the realization of your dreams. Stay connected with us. Follow Sababoosh on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an episode, and check out our website, sababoosh.com, where you can also subscribe to our Substack. We've already published over 50 articles on Israeli culture, everything from Eurovision to the slang term Sachi, and we're adding more all the time. If you enjoy the show, please take a moment to rate and review Sababoosh on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. Your feedback really helps us reach more people. We're also excited to share that Sababoosh now offers opportunities to bring Israeli culture directly into your community or program. From talks and webinars to workshops and courses, we love engaging with groups in a more interactive way. Our current offerings include Intro to Israeli Culture, Israeli Music After October 7th, and Shtisel and Chill, a look at Israeli culture through TV. If this sparks interest for your community, campus, or gap year program, feel free to reach out. We'd love to collaborate. You can find more information on sababoosh.com. We've got some exciting guests coming up, and I'd love to hear from you. Send your comments, ideas, or guest suggestions anytime to jake@sababoosh.com. Thanks so much for listening and for being part of the Sababoosh community.